there has been a lot of protests in front of a building called the Justice Center. It is the main police precinct. It is this building up here. But that's not. This isn't exactly why I'm going live right now. I mean, you can see a lot of people. Standing in front. More's going to come in the next few hours. But here's the Justice Center. There's also this building here, the federal courthouse. We'll talk more about this in a few minutes. But the reason why I want to go live right now is to talk about Riot Ribs. So, Riot Ribs was a little kind of small grilling section set up about a week ago in the park around the federal courthouse. It has since grown. It has grown immensely. So last time I was here was 2 days ago on Saturday, when federal officers sent in by the president tear gassed this park a lot, and the street a lot, multiple times. They shot someone in the head who's now having to go through facial reconstruction surgery. And this last time I was here, Riot Ribs was just one tent. Now we have at least 2 or 3 dedicated Riot Ribs tents giving out free food. They specialize in, ribs, barbecue. But we also have almost like a little other community set up here. We have other just tents and people staying the night over in the park, so they can protest. They can protest late at night. They can sleep here, get back up in the morning. We've got 3 tents over here. We have a tent over here. Of course, we have the whole kitchen set up. We have this tent over here. We got this whole other row of tents back here. So it's hard to capture the mood of a little like zone like this in just video or pictures. You really have to kind of just actually see it and experience it. But it's very interesting. I was not expecting this when I came down here. I thought Riot Ribs would just be the one little tent, but we got this whole nice community just existing in this area. I mean, there's a good chance they might get tear gassed tonight. But that's something that these people have already been through. Some of the people living here are houseless. Absolutely, the people who set up Riot Ribs are houseless folks. We also have people. We have a lot of youth activists setting up here. We have a lot of people who are not houseless, also just sitting in this, hanging out in this area. But yeah, the kitchen setup has been extraordinarily amazing. I had some ribs about 30 minutes ago. Got grills. They got a whole bunch of other stuff. I had some cookies a few days ago. But yeah, the infrastructure here has been very, very impressive. This is all donation based. They have a Venmo. They have a Cash App. You can follow them on social media at Riot Ribs. Riot Ribs. Yeah, and all the food here is free, so they're feeding all these people downtown. It is really cool here. Yeah, so we got just a really nice mutual aid tent set up. They have a Venmo, which is also at Riot Ribs, if you want to donate to this project. Yeah, I mean it's hard to call it an autonomous zone exactly, because it's right next to the federal courthouse, where we have everyone, where you had all the federal agents shooting tear gas from a few days ago. There was a sniper's nest set up a few days ago. We also have the main police headquarters. So, it's tough to use the actual term temporary autonomous zone, but it is at the very least a very lovely community. They have just a very lovely community of people just in this park set up, giving out free food for people. I don't know if there's vegan ribs. I'm not sure. They have other vegan food. But yeah, I mean, they have donations open. Yeah, I was just really surprised when I came down here, because I was expecting the one tent like there was a few days ago. So I just thought, it'd be good to kind of showcase the mood of this whole section of the park. And I mean, we'll see if it grows in the next few days. All right. I'll take you guys on a quick tour of kind of the protest right now. And then I'll log off, go back to my Twitter thread, and if other action happens that I think is better to stream, then I will come back live. So, this is the site of the former elk statue when the city decided to take it down. The statue is unharmed, it's undamaged, so I'm guessing we'll see it back soon. These pits have been used for makeshift fireplaces a lot the past month. And then we'll be going into Chapman Park. This is the other part. So that's Lonsdale Park. This is Chapman Park. Chapman is in front of the Justice Center. Other parks in front of the federal courthouse. We just had a lot of protests in this area the past month and a half here in Portland. So here we have the Pioneer statue, also set on fire quite a lot. Although the city has not taken down this one. They've taken down the elk, but they decided to leave this one up. I know about 30 minutes ago, a group from Pioneer Square marched over here, and they started marching around the Justice Center. The group may have kind of dispersed into the two parks. I don't see a giant group marching now, but they were marching just a few minutes ago. Here is the front of the Justice Center. It is all completely boarded up with plywood, and people paint the plywood every day. So basically, there's been a lot of graffiti goes on this plywood, and then every day the city decides to paint it over. Sure, yeah, thank you. So right now it says, I believe it's that looks like "Do justice, make peace." It is what it says right now. But every day we have people from the government. I don't know who exactly they contract, but they must contract someone to paint over all of this plywood, because every day it gets painted this kind of weird gray to kind of blend in with the concrete. They do not leave the graffiti up. The graffiti that has been up for a month and a half is just the ongoing art project that is the federal courthouse. Now, there are definitely criticisms of targeting the federal courthouse, and how that means you're going to get federal troops coming in to deal with protesters. But the ongoing art project of the federal courthouse has not been painted over yet. I believe the mayor of Portland, Ted Wheeler, announced that they're going to start doing that soon. I thought maybe something was going to happen today, but I mean it is still all here. The documentarian said the Pioneer Place folks marched over the Morse Bridge. Okay, well, a group of protesters marched. I don't know, a group of maybe 100 people marched and arrived here about 30 minutes ago. They were coming from that direction, so I made that assumption. So these are little slits that you can open up and shoot from. That's what's been happening. So they shoot out pepper balls, rubber bullets, tear gas. Also here, this is a door. But if you go to my Twitter and look at any of the stuff from Saturday night, that was the worst tear gas I've ever experienced here in Portland in the past month and a half. It was pretty bad. But so yeah, I think people are probably going to be not standing super close to the federal courthouse that much because of it is federal property. So we've had people talking about how actually the federal property extends to about halfway through the street. So I think people will probably try to stay away, just so they don't have to, there's less likely to deal with the federal officers who have a lot more, they have a lot less accountability than even the Portland Police Bureau does. Well, so here's back in the little Riot Ribs community. Still going on. We got some music. We got food getting handed out. We got people in tents, people hanging around. So thanks everyone for watching. I will be active on my Twitter thread, Twitter account @HungryBowtie. I'll be posting updates every once in a while. If I feel like it's necessary to stream again for something that's better for streaming, I will do that. But until then, video updates. So yeah, thanks for watching, everybody.